think that it's a problem with administration?
I don't know. I mean, I think everybody's going through cuts right now. So it's not just us. It's not, I mean, you can administrate, but sometimes the money is just not there.
Yeah. What do you think that the protesting is effective?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, as more people go out and, strike, it makes a difference in what they believe in, maybe there could be a change.
Do you think there's something more that the students could do that they haven't been doing?
No, I mean, I think they've done everything they can. They go on strikes, sometimes I know that they didn't go to class a couple of times, I mean, without no students, there's really nothing to be run here because we need students.
The UC strike and in general the events that have been happening have been a demonstration of student sentiments, and they're very important to me personally because they're symbolic of a lot of the anxiety and the issues among the student population with the recent fee hikes. But really it goes far deeper than the fee hikes. It has more to do with the general feeling of privatization with the UC and the problems that arise with that process, and the fact that it seems as though it's turning into a corporation and these students don't have very much agency, and in that regard they've been forced to turn to protesting and making their voice heard in that way.
And I'm talking with, you can say your names, you can read them on.
Allison Frederick. Kayla Rubin.
I guess what I'm wondering is, like, what is your general sense of what's been happening on campus, how the students have been organizing, and like what the students want, basically, that have been protesting?
Alright, so basically I support the reason why they're protesting. I mean, the budget cuts obviously suck. The state should make education a higher priority, not just for colleges, but for education, high school, elementary schools. Good teachers are losing their jobs. Good high schools are no longer getting money. My alma mater has no money to pay for grad night, for graduation, or for prom at all, and they're in debt now because of all this. So I am obviously in big support of the cause. However, I don't support what they're doing, the way they're protesting. I don't support going to Hart Hall, pulling fire alarms, and then locking all the doors. I don't support blocking the buses. I don't support going on the freeways. Not only is that stupid, but it's also counterintuitive to their goal. They're interrupting the lives of the students. They're keeping them from education when they're trying to support their help in education.
And it kind of discredits the whole movement to like doing things like going on the freeway. Like, that doesn't make them look very good. It'd be better to just talk more rationally about it if they want to get results, which we all do because the budget cuts do suck.
And what I want to know is why they focus so much on the university when in all honesty the university is only doing what they have to do, what they can do, and they need to go to the source of the problem. Last year the UCs organized a whole system where they organized a bus system where they went to the state capitol to protest against the gay rights movement, and I was all for that. But why can't we do this for education, something that affects us greatly? I've yet to see a march on the Capitol. It'd be great to see that. That might be more productive than just complaining and sitting around school.
Well, actually there wasn't a march on the Capitol on March 4th, and originally I think that the whole concept of March 4th as being a statewide day of action was to have a march on the Capitol, but then after the administrators endorsed it, I think there was a lot of backlash from that, because I think a lot of the students feel that the administration is not handling the budget cuts the way, I guess they would like them to. So that's why then the students started doing things like organizing things on their separate campuses.
Which is fine, but they need to do something other than blocking buses and pulling fire alarms and dragging people unwillingly out of classrooms. I mean, my friends got dragged out of their classrooms, and when they tried to go back, all they did was get yelled at. That's counterintuitive to the process, and that's not gonna do anything. I mean, we need to go back to the ideas of, I hate to sound really ridiculous, but the ideas of Martin Luther King and Gandhi, where you don't misbehave to get what you want. You do it in a fashionable way.
Okay, so
you don't fight back. That girl who pushed the officer with the dog and is now in the hospital, you don't do that. Doing stuff like that, doing shit like that isn't going to do anything, and so that's why I don't really support what they're doing.
I actually hadn't heard about that.
Supposedly there was, they brought a canine unit to help control the protesting because it was getting a little bit out of hand. And I mean, the canines are German Shepherds, so people know, it's common knowledge that they're very protective of their owners. And one of the girls went up and pushed the officer, like full on pushed him, and in the act of getting pushed, he accidentally let go of the dog, and the dog obviously attacked her.
Wow, do you know where this happened?
I don't know where on campus, but somewhere on campus.
Okay, so this wasn't like when they were trying to occupy the freeway. This is like some other time.
It might have been when they were trying to occupy the freeway, but I don't know. I just heard of the story and I thought, like, I feel bad for the girl. It sucks.
But it was like,
but at the same time, you don't push a canine officer. You don't push an officer, period. So, violence begets violence. You have to do it in a non-physical way.
Yeah.
Departments, do you cut, which ones don't you cut? And unfortunately, the ones that have been cut that are suffering, like the textiles and the creative writing, are the ones that don't have as much build-up. Of course, the engineering, chemistry departments are going to get away somewhat fine.
Are you guys engineers?
No, I'm a comparative lit major.
Okay.
French and psychology.
Okay.
So I mean, we're kind of on the shorter end of the stick. And I mean, in this situation, the unfortunate thing is that we have no pull. We have nothing that the state wants, and we're asking for a lot. And unfortunately, the state can't help us even if they wanted to. So it's a horrible situation, and I can understand why they're turning to radical ideas and trying to just make a voice because that's the only way you're going to get heard, but it's still not going to get anything done.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's very helpful. Is there anything else that you want to say about it? I just kind of have been trying to, like, at the end of the interviews, I guess just like leaving a space for whatever.
I think it's just a really unfortunate situation because neither side, like the university or the students or the police, have really like done anything. I don't know, they both like reacted in ways that are understandable given the situation. Like the students want to be heard, but like the police have to enforce like the law and everything. But nothing good has come out of any of it. Nothing good is gonna come out of it, like at this rate.
Totally understand, like, feeling, I just want to kind of respond to something. I totally understand feeling that way. I am totally, like, on your side when talking about pulling fire alarms, keeping people from, you know, getting to class. I think that there could have been better ways to try to get the administration's attention without pissing off other students, because obviously that's just going to fragment us as a student body, and, you know, and, like, that kind of thing. In terms of, like, being violent towards, like, the officers, I was actually at the, you know, trying to get footage of the things that were happening when the students were trying to get on the freeway, and, I mean, like, I had footage of a CHP officer, you know, repeatedly, like, batting with a baton a student who'd been knocked to the ground, and I don't really see how that's justifiable.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying the officers are completely innocent.
Right, yeah.
Like, but my point is no one's innocent.
I think that both sides took it too far.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's really interesting. Also, because did you guys hear about the freeway getting stopped at Berkeley and you know, like, I think at San Francisco State they also. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, it's too far.
You think so?
It's going too far.
For me, I definitely believe in the right to publicly and peacefully protest. I definitely think it's necessary for such things as marches. But I think one of the things that's been poorly executed by a lot of the student body is that not a lot of people are educated on what's actually happened in terms of the budget cuts or why they happened. And I agree that I agree with the budget cuts, and I agree that it is necessary to maintain the campus, and the rises in tuition, I don't like it, but it is somewhat necessary. What I don't agree with is the management of the schools and how just the allocation of money towards, I don't know, administration isn't